Hello, collective. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Nicole. Collective, this is part 2 of that message that I started to get out this morning with the notes that Spirit had provided with me, to me, however you want to word that. So we're going to draw some cards on that message that came through for any additional information that we could pull out of this for you. I hope you found that message to be everything that you needed it to be under this full moon in Cancer. So thank you all once again for all the ways you support the channel, like, sharing, subscribing, commenting, donations that you've made, booking of personal reads. You're all amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I'm so grateful for all of you. So thank you for that. All right. We're going to jump into it and see, in regards, Spirit, to the message that came through this morning. What else does the collective need to know? Take a leap of faith, spirals of manifestation. Listen, if you're getting ready to close something out, Spirit is saying, in order for these realizations to come through, these awakening moments, these epiphanies, these ahas, these unpredictable moments may feel, Spirit is using the word detailed, but to me, it feels chaotic in some sense, through these emotional planes that you're transiting right now, that this is a requirement to get you to your manifestations. Whatever you've desired, whatever you've wanted, whatever you've longed for, do know that this awakening of these wounds, the understanding of it, the looking at other people and seeing those things within them, looking at those things within yourself, this is, if you want to get to that next level, you've asked for this next level. It's coming. It's right there. But to continue to do the inner work in the process, okay? I think some of you have been manifesting this for a really long time. A long, long time. To heal this stuff up. Sacred Fool. In that particular song, Paula Cole, I don't want to wait. In that song it says, in the war of 44. The 4s were showing a second ago, the Sacred Fool sitting here, number 40. So this here to me is all of the things in life that have puppeteered your existence. You've been the fool over and over again for people, for jobs, for places, for things, for situations, for avenues of existence, for family members, whatever this might be. You've had to play all these different roles. You've had to live under their criteria. You've had to kind of just go, okay, whatever you need me to do, I'm at your beck and call. I will be who you need me to be. I will show up as you want me to be. I will be the fool for you. Spirit is saying that it's not about, what do I want to call this? It's not about who you thought you were to be. It's about who you're becoming. The other thing with this too is the vulnerability. Like, I can't show this card. They would flag me for this. But she's pretty much naked. Okay? Chest is bared. It's vulnerability. This is a fear. Or at least it's been a fear in the past. If I am open and vulnerable to these experiences, that leaves me open to be scarred again. It leaves those wounds wide open. It leaves other people that in the past that have preyed on those wounds to potentially do that again. But there's a resilience, big bold vision here that says, and pardon the sniffling, I walked outside a little bit ago, the snow is melting, allergies are kicking up. I've been fine all day until now, so my apologies. Big bold vision. I feel like you're just, it's not even a fearlessness. It's just a lack of even having a feeling about being in a space of fear anymore. Like, you ever get to that point where you're just like, I don't, like, this, I've done this thing for so long. There's nowhere to go but up. And that's kind of the feeling that I get with this, is that it's like, we've been in a space for so long that it's proven to us time and time again, these repeat cycles, what the end result is if we stay in these particular cycles. So in order to get out of those cycles, it's just taking the leap of faith, being, lifted up in light and love, that these things are going to shift for you. Okay? So give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. But this Fool is open to be vulnerable. It's like kind of like it's showing me the past fears, but then at the same time going, okay, I'm ready now to be the puppeteer of my life. All right, so we're going to clarify these two, but I'm going to get 3 cards on this from the Sacred Rebels deck. What else does the collective need to know? And here 3 cards came out. I said 3 cards, so I guess that's what we're going with. We're going with 3 additional cards per spirit. And the first card out, I said about those 4, she says, in the War of 44. There it is. 44. 44 could have great significance to you. I also will say 44 breaks down to an 8. And that 8, as I say that and I look down, what is already with you? You have everything that you need. You have learned everything that you've needed to know. You have experienced all there is to experience in something. And I'm going to say within those wounds. What does 17 break down to? An 8. That is that of the star. That is Aquarius energy. In the last 17 years, maybe even in the last 8 years from some of you, or for some of you, you have gained this flower of life knowledge. You have transformed. You have done everything that you needed to do. And it's opening your hands up to the heavens, if that's what you want to call it, and going, I'm ready. And there's another card I have. I forget what deck it is, but it's got a set of hands, and it says let it go on it. Oh, I know exactly. It's funny because Spirit told me to leave this deck out, and now I know why. I was like, well, that's interesting. This is a very different deck compared to the Sacred Rebels deck. So let's see here. I want to show this to you. I think it's important that you see this. Let me find the card here. Here it is, letting go. And it says, what is already with you there, right? This breaks down to a 4. 22 breaks down to a 4. There it is. You see the hands. What is already with you? It's okay to let go of what you once thought you needed, because it's not about what is external to you, collective. It is about what is within you already. It's what you always had within you to be able to make these moves. Okay, and then lastly, talk about that manifestation. What you want wants you. Underlying the energy of that is the shock of the new. This is a disbelief. This is, I can't believe this is happening. Back into that unpredictability of like, is this really finally happening after all these years, after all these trials, these tribulations? Am I finally making those moves? For some of you, this is even just letting go and being okay and going, oh my God, like I left a situation, I left a job, I did this, I did that. I'm still standing. It didn't ruin me. It wasn't a catalytic moment. It wasn't, I'm going to call it not catalytic, but a tumultuous moment that maybe you were expecting things to go really sour. And maybe for a minute they did. I will give grace to that maybe in some ways they did. But whatever you thought was going to happen, it's not quite happening that way. You could call it divine intervention. You could call it lots of things. But it's not supposed to be that way anymore. And it's okay. It's like some of you, I'm going to say if you're here and you're viewing this, you've been at an emotional place of acceptance for a really long time, but to actually physically let go of places, people, situations, environments has been harder than anything else, to actually make that grand physical exit from certain things. And, when we look back at those wounds, and the people that have represented those wounds to us, that have projected back to us what we needed to know to do this healing work, it's eye-opening that it's like they're being used to show you what you've learned. Visions of life beyond death. Again, going back to Akashic records, past life regressions, digging into parts of ourselves that we knew were always there. We just didn't know what they looked like, why things had happened. This wisdom that you carry is beyond ages old. There's a beauty in the difficulties, in the time-space reality in which you've had to navigate to get to where you are in this moment. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. I remember talking about like the innocence in the notes, and I've got the notes sitting here in front of me. You look at this. She's an older lady. She's got the wisdom, right? She's been there, done that. This, what you want, wants you. Look at the innocence and how much younger. It's a brand new way of life. It's curiosity. It's opening up. It's expansion. It is, everything aligning to exactly what you've needed to be all this time, but not without you putting in the work first, okay? Visions of life, the temperance and the wheel of fortune, positive turn of events. Temperance is healing, right? A deep divine healing, a 14 there. You had to change. Collective, you had to be the thing that changed. It wasn't about the external circumstances. It wasn't about everybody else getting on board with your change or them changing to fit your needs. This was about the internal process of you changing, and more importantly, being in acceptance of those changes of who you are becoming and who you are in this moment. Okay, so visions of life beyond death. What is this about for the collective, please, with this full moon? King of Swords, getting a lot of clarity, a lot of mental insight into where you're going. A lot of you could be having new visions for new jobs and things like that. Fearless, that Knight of Swords, being fearless and ambitious to start this new journey. Some of you, I think, are starting this journey into that deeper dive of those past lives, those deeper roots too as well. Not being afraid of confrontation. I had a conversation with a client today about trying not to confront things. 11:44 on the clock. Not wanting to be confrontational. You don't have to be confrontational. You have to be bold in the face of the transitions and not accepting less for yourself. Page of Pentacles. You are learning how to articulate what goes on in your life. You're learning to handle things that are no longer serving of you, that have met you with disappointment, and you don't have to be mean about it. About the same time too, for a lot of you that this happens, you're going to see an increase in your money flow. You're going to see bits and pieces of the universe popping up for you and going, let me show you this. Congratulations. This could just be at home, things being more harmonious, your career, taking new shots at things that you never thought you would do before. Magician, the Four of Cups. What is already with you? Let's see, Spirit, what comes up with what is already with you for this collective message. Five of Wands. The Hierophant. Some of you could be having a hard time in some ways, clashing with the norms. I think the interesting thing to this is you're going to see as time goes on throughout 2025, what you perceive as normal that maybe others didn't see as normal. It was outside of their realm, right? So we could even use this as an example and say, I've seen some comments over on here on YouTube over the time that I've done this. If I could talk, holy shit, where they talk about religion and things like that, thinking that religion and spirituality are two completely different things, and in reality, they're not, other than the fact that man made organized parts of religion, right? This is what you thought, or what other people may have thought was controversial or taboo. We'll dip into Scorpio with Pluto and Aquarius and go taboo. They're all of a sudden getting on board. Maybe there is a chance that this is beneficial. You could see other people, Spirit saying, coming online with things too, as this Page of Swords is sitting here as I look down there, where you are, again, being bold in the face of fear, or what used to be fear, to put yourself out there. So for some of you, you might be online dating, you could be starting online communities, you could be opening up a YouTube channel, you could be Facebooking, TikToking, whatever other stream of social whatevers there are out there. But it's you're willing to subject yourself to a world, to be a voice of people, or for people like yourself, or your experiences, that gives people the space to breathe and acknowledge their own same truth. You have been a beacon of light for so long as you have been here. You just didn't tap into it until now. You might have tasted a little bit of it. You might have played with, it's like playing with Play-Doh, right? Like, oh, I can make a hot dog. This would be easy to do. What if you made a flower, a detailed flower? What are you sculpting, collective? And it's like you're molding, you're that clay, and you're getting to play with that. You've spent all these years molding and filling it out and understanding it, and now you get to actually produce something that is beneficial to you. And I'm going to say you and you alone, but only again after the work is done does anybody else benefit from it. If you teach, if you write a class on something, you have to put that all together before you can present it, that it's going to be beneficial for somebody else. Some of you are simply putting you together for your own benefit, and in return, it's going to benefit other people. It is breaking the old way of being. It is changing the norms here. I love the way this feels. You know, it's getting out into the world. What you want wants you, collective. Again, you have already planted seeds for this manifestation. You have done it. You've done this, some of you 7 years ago, some of you 7 months ago. And it's kind of funny because Spirit is saying that once you planted those seeds, or you had a vision around what life could be like, everything from that point forward could have felt like it took a downturn. Like everything that in that specific moment, you're like, ooh, I'm reaching this goal, and we're going to do this thing, and our marriage is great, my job is phenomenal, my kids, all of these things, right? And then it was like, I really thought I hit that point, you could have said to yourself. And then it seemed like everything just fucking fell apart after that. Because the vision that you had, the way of life that you were leaning into of what your soul needed, did not fit with those environments, those people, those situations. So if like in the midst of manifestation, everything just went to shit, Spirit's like, I heard you. We hear you. We know. You want this. This is what's got to go in the process. Can you hang in there? Spirit is also saying that 7 and 5, even some of you 2 years ago, what were you manifesting? You okay? 2 years ago, what were you manifesting? Because the work has been done. Addressing those wounds have happened. You've got to see those wounds in you and in others. You now know and understand more things than you've ever understood before in your life on a deeper, and subconscious level. So in turn, you had to, I said 2 years, look at that underneath the bottom of the deck, 2 of Swords. Everything just went to shit. No movement, no nothing, just kind of sitting there going, what is happening? This is not what I asked for. Contraire. Contraire to your belief, it was what you asked for. But the way the divine had to move it around for you, it wasn't the way the human mind wants to perceive it, or could even perceive it if they had to. It's like it has to happen in order for it to be believable. There's got to be proof that that's the way that it goes. Okay? And there were people, King of Cups, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, 8 of Swords. There were people around you that had to test you. It's like Spirit's like, you want this? Okay, prove it that you want this. Prove it to yourself that you want this. Prove it to us. Like, make this proof happen for the sense of your own conviction that this is really what you want. That once all these other things are weeded out, that this is what you want for yourself. But you can't take this manifestation and take it into what awaits for you. It will poison it every single time. Massive change had to happen within you first before this could be. For those of you who have been in a space of victim mentality, it's almost like you started to look at yourself through the eyes of somebody else and going, Why do you feel the way you do? Some of you could have spent some time journaling and really working diligently, whether it's been on work, personal self, your spiritual charisma for things, whatever it might be, to cultivate the feel-good feelings. Again, at times feeling kind of stuck, like you were spinning your wheels going, what am I doing wrong? How do I change this? What direction do I go? Where do I need to be? And for some of you, it could have felt like a very lonely road. But once we get out of that Eight of Swords, fast-moving energy, 2 8s here as well. Shock of the New Spirit. What's it? Dream a beautiful dream. I'm telling you all, something beautiful is on the horizon. Clarify the shock of the new, please, Spirit. Knight of Cups. 7 of Wands. This is, I just said, it's like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? Really? Like, be careful. Like, it's what, once you get what you want, it's like, it comes in so fast. Seeing those 8 of Wands again. That it's like deer in the headlights. Oh shit. I remember saying to some of you, like, once you get what you want, it's like you don't even know what to do with it. Same sort of feeling here, collective. That it's like, wait a second. I don't have to fight for this. I don't have to, you're just going to give me what I want. You're just going to do what you're just going to hand this over to me. Yeah, you did. Because it's a successful reward to your achievements based on what you were able to pull together for yourself. What else goes with this card? Shock of the New. The Hermit. It's the Lovers. Some of you, I told it, Scorpio, I think it was their theme of 2025. This could be your love era. New lovers, new relationships, new partnerships, new connections. New heartfelt understanding and balance. We have to be in that heart space to cultivate anything. We have to love what we do. We have to have the passion and the drive to make it happen. And it's like, I think you've seen yourself as so wounded for so long. So worn out by the challenges. There is parts of life on the day to day that make you feel amazingly illuminated when it comes to yourself, because you've got a sense of control in thyself. But when it comes into other people coming in and playing a role in that, that's when you get a little bit like, hold on. Are you going to attack me too? Because for the last 8 years, someone's attacked me somehow. Are you going to attack me? I think that's shifting here. I don't think, I know. It's shifting. It's not quite like that anymore. Cancer, you've got permission to move on and move forward, right? It's victory, it's success that you're headed towards with these positive relationships that you are building and navigating. Spirit saying, it's okay to just say thank you. It's okay to just say thank you. There comes that World card again. Celebration, wholesomeness. Some of you could be traveling, opening new chapters of life. Extrovert, getting back out there. Getting back out and doing these new things. You know, the moon says voluntary change. Sitting with both the hidden enemy of yourself. You being your own worst enemy sometimes, right? Look at this. Today, the sun and the moon are opposite. There's the sun and the moon. The 8 of Cups, it is that letting go. If it doesn't work, we're ready to move on. Spiritual, I'm going to call it spiritual submission. Turning point, the 10 of, I always want to say the 10 of, but the Wheel of Fortune and the 9 of Cups. Your personal freedom and happiness. And that's the temptation. The devil this time around, collective, is good. Because after all of that message that came in this morning from Spirit, You looking at those deeper parts and maybe still needing to go deeper, okay? Don't be afraid to dig deeper. You won't be beaten into submission of self-sacrifice anymore. You've done that over and over and over and over again. If you're going to self-sacrifice, it's going to be for your benefit. It would be like working a couple extra hours because it's going to pay the bills. It's taking a time off today to take time to mentally clear your head, letting the laundry go, right? The laundry's still going to be there tomorrow. It's a self-sacrifice for your own well-being. It's not going to be a self-sacrifice because someone else has beat you into submission to prove their point, to make you subservient to them. It's no longer a thing. You are meeting your equal. You are meeting your soul family. You are meeting prosperity. You are meeting a lot of things as we come throughout 2025. And this, my dears, is just the beginning. Relish in anything that pulls in your creative processes. Use those past lessons as a muse to build, not to replay wounds. The people that come into your life and light you up, that inspire you to be your very best self, enjoy them. Feel it, live it, breathe it, soak it in. Advice, and we're going to wrap this up. You're off to live a more meaningful life. You really are. And look at this. You watched it jump, ascending. Ascending past the things that are no longer enough for you. This is, again, partnering with work, partnering with the right people. You're showing people, when I see this mirror, self-reflection, right? You're showing people what it is to step into a sense of higher self and healing those wounds. New love comes in, interest, sincere care. Under the bottom of the deck, self-indulgence. That self-work, that self-preservation, that self-sacrifice for you and you alone. Leaving the past behind, and those who run away from it will replay it. They will redo it. There's the camera. There you go. It's going back to the past. Last message. Your true feelings about situations are coming out. You may be having a lot of talks in the coming weeks about things, and finally no longer like hiding your feelings, hiding the way you see things, hiding. It's not stifling your voice box anymore. It's clearing up that throat chakra energy and going, here it is. This is how I feel. Here is my truth. This is what I know. This is what I need. Can you meet me there? And if you can't, that's okay. Guys, I'm leaving it at that. I'm sending you all a ton of love. Gosh almighty, I hope this message helped you. So important. Like when I woke up this morning and started getting those downloads, I knew without a doubt this was going to be so important for so many of you. And I really, really, truly hope that it's everything that you need it to be. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Description box down below. The email is there for personal reads. If you are interested, channel memberships are open. Other videos are coming. Do my best to get those out as soon as possible. I'm sending you all so much love. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.